Okay, let's see. Let me see if it's gotten okay. Good good evening, guys. Oh man, good evening. Well, welcome to the first night of Unapologetically Keith in the private group, the Unapologetically Keith group. So I want to thank everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. And wow, you have to excuse me. The reason why I'm laughing is I just listened to and I'm going to play it for you because I want to make sure that we're doing this the right way. So first and foremost, let me introduce myself the right way. I am Keith K.L. Belvin. I'm a crisis specialist, and what I do is I help people deal with the negatives that are going on in their lives, the crisis that's going on in their lives. And what's going on, Flex? Good to see you here, brother. Appreciate you. And so what I do is find ways to be able to help people that are in crisis. Now, with that said, it means I have to be willing to pretty much listen to and deal with anything that is out here. And so, hey, Joyce, how you doing? Appreciate you. Glad you came in. So when I heard this song, I actually heard it while watching the video at the same time. Oh my gosh. And then I've been paying attention to yes, Joyce, crazy. I've been paying attention to all of the responses and the conversations that's been going on. And I felt that I had to say something, but I want to make sure that my thoughts come across the right way, and I want to make sure that I pay this the attention that it deserves, because I'm not going to, hey baby, how you doing? I want to make sure, because, well, you will tonight, and I'm going to put a disclaimer on. If you got children, you're going to have to move them away from the computer. So Tiff, you're going to have to make sure KL has on the headphones or something like that. But here's the thing, and let's get this perfectly understood. First and foremost, I'm not on Periscope anymore. I'll move this to YouTube when I'm done. But I wanted to come here and do the show this way. Hey Kim, because after Friday having us lose sound, it just drove me crazy. So I had to make a decision. So I'm going to lose the people over on Periscope. If they're connected to me, then they've already saw that we'll be here in the group. And I want everybody in the group to be able to have it. So I want to say this first and foremost. To all the women who are saying, y'all don't say the same thing about the men. Well, I'm going to say this up front. I do say the same thing about the men. If they're nasty and vile, I get at them. And I would say to anybody, go to Friday's show where I just talked about men not being romantic and explaining that I think a lot of men have lost or didn't even know how to be romantic. So I criticize the men when they're vile and nasty too, because I just think the way a lot of the men treat women is disrespectful. But I also have a problem with the way a lot of women are carrying themselves. And I think it's two sides of the same coin. And I'm sorry. Hey Toya, great to see you guys. This is why I love to see the people here. I knew the regulars would show up, and I appreciate you. Here's the thing. When I hear that it's empowering, and I've learned this now over the years, so let's get some things off the table right now. All you old heads that are saying, oh my God, stop. Don't, oh my God. Say, I'm not shocked, and now we have to try to defend those that are not with that, because Millie Jackson was the same way. Little Kim was the same way. Vanity and Apollonia didn't have no damn clothes on either. Little Kim didn't have no clothes on. Foxy Brown didn't have no clothes on. Trina didn't have no clothes on. And God knows how many other people. Listen, so the sex part is not new. The sex industry is not new. Raunchiness is not new. So I'm not coming at it from that point of view, because that doesn't shock me. It does not. That part does not shock me. What gets at me is that I know firsthand, hey Michelle, I know firsthand the effects that this type of music has on kids because of social media. I have been here from the start of social media. I was on Yahoo in 1994 when you had, hey, T to the Y, oh, we got the regulars up in here tonight. I was on Yahoo at night when Netscape was like the only, that was before you could get on AOL. It was Netscape. Netscape was at 1.0. Hey, Lynn, the problem I have with this song is that sex is one thing. Raunch is something different. And I have always felt this way. When we start glorifying raunch, we are opening up a door to things that lead to a lot of devastating things. So before a lot of you start saying it's her empowering women, another thing that I like to do is I like to look at the lyrics without the music, because the music is designed to drug you out. The music is designed to keep you that you ain't even paying attention. Now, don't think we didn't have raunchy songs in my youth. Akinelli was sticking it in people's mouths and made a song out of it. Put it in your mouth. Well, I'm not going to sing the chicks to Vax chat. There we go, chat. There we go. And everybody know the 976 chat room, though. Everybody yelling and screaming and trying to hook up. Where you live at? Where you live at? What you look like? What you like? Whatever. And so Tiff says, any parent letting their child listen to that type of music is negligent. Teacher Wise said, Netscape, damn, that's what I hate plug. Yeah, bruh. Dial up. Do, all night. But listen, so it's not new. Sex is not new, guys. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. We adults. Sex is not new. But sex had its place. Remember in video stores, the porn section was the section with the curtain? Don't act like I'm the only person that went back there behind that curtain. So you knew what movies was back there behind the curtain. But there was a reason for that. Sex is not new. Playboy, porn, it's not new. The problem and what is fairly new now is that it's on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That is up front now. Now it's on in your breakfast, your morning drive to work. That you're hearing suck this and kiss mine and F this. That's what's changing. Is that the guardrails that the guardrails that used to be in place have been removed. Now, so let's do this. I'm going to give you the lyrics, but I want you to hear it. Now pay attention. And I just want to put this disclaimer out right now. If you have children around you, please, I apologize. Please move them away from your computer, your phone, put in your headphones, because we cannot talk about something without actually listening to it. And then we're going to look at these lyrics. And yes, I do this for all songs that I deem like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So Lord forgive me, here we go. Oh, Tony, I wish I just keep the background though. People in the background keep saying. So it ends with there's some whores and just kept beating you in the head with there's some whores in the house and whoa. So she talks like, yes, she's a meal. Well, that's the thing is that, and the reason why I played, the nice beat is designed that way, Flex, and it's designed to get your head nodding. It's designed to get you not focused on the lyrics completely, so you hear the parts that you want to hear, but that's not new. And when I taught, I used to teach about videos like this. And the one thing that I would always share with the kids is that it is not about what they want you to hear and see, because I'm going to give you all the song that I want you to go look up. So it's not just women. So I want any woman watching. It's not just women that I'm getting at. Go look up Meek Mill's Amen, where he literally says, basically saying the best type of chicks that you can F are in the church. Amen. Okay? And this is what I want you to understand, that it's not new. But those of us who are trying to get folks to think differently. Yes, the chorus is a sample from an old record. Of course, they all are. I wish I used to blush when I heard Sylvia's Pillow Talk. This is too much. Looking into, and we can go through it, guys, and we can go through all of the people who put out music that caused us to go. But a lot of it was all followed by very heavy rhythm, very heavy beats. Now, here's what I want to do. And the reason why I wanted to do it this way, because I'm in teacher mode tonight, because I'm not attacking Cardi B. I'm not a fan, so I'm never going to buy her music, and I'm not going to sit around and just play her videos. If that's how she makes her money and that's what people want to do. But I have a daughter, and I have a daughter that's impressionable, and I have to make sure that I watch and pay attention to all the things that are pushing her or attempting to push her in a direction where somebody else is going to try to have their way with her because somebody else said it's okay. And it's okay to like whatever music that you like, dance to it. Listen, it's a catchy beat, and it's designed to do that. But when the lyrics start getting blurred, here's the thing that we got to pay attention to. The brain remembers everything that it's seen and everything that it's heard. So when in the background of a song you keep hearing, there's some hoes in this house, there's some whores in this house, and we act like, okay, that's just a hook. What is that doing to the psyche? What is that doing to the brain? What is that placing inside our children when certain filters that should be in place all of a sudden disappear? What happens then? And so these are the things that we have to think about, because what happens is, let me see, there's somebody that was trying to get at it. Let me put them in. Let's see what we got here. Folks get here. You may have to watch on replay. But these are the things that you have to realize. Actually, all right, next time. All right. Listen, I don't have time for that. I tried. Can't get you in right now. Sorry. Anyway, so look, it always seems everybody want to come after 9 o'clock, 9:30. So here's what I want to do, guys. And I just want to, and I'm going to tear this song up, but I can tear a bunch up. But this is the topic, or this is the song that's out here for today. So I want to go over it the right way, because I want to make sure that we take a look at it the right way. Because again, before you do anything, you have to make sure you look at it completely. Because I listen, I pay attention to things on social media simply because as a crisis person, I have to be able to deal with every aspect. Because if I have parents that come to me, and y'all know I do family therapy, if I got parents who come to me and say, I need help with my child, and the child is listening to this, I got to be able to deal with this, to be able to figure out how to counter this or how to be able to offer something. Also, children are not stupid. Let's not get it twisted. Children are not stupid, so they'll say, well, you listen to Little Kim, and Little Kim was talking about, yeah, what? Put it in my butt. Yeah, what? They'll be right. That's why we as the old heads can't start criticizing the young heads as if this is new. So let's get that off the table first and foremost. Let's get it off the table. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. And he also had the other song, Put It on the Glass or whatever. And it was just a song about women putting their breasts on the glass. So this is not new. So we can't go at the kids that way. What we have to go at the kids is that this can open up the door to sex trafficking. This can open up the door to prostitution. This can open up the door to a lot of things that we don't want our children involved in, that we don't want our children connected to. These are the things that we have to consider, because what happens is, if we don't, somebody else is going to say to our children, this is perfectly acceptable. Somebody else is going to say to our children, hey, you want to be like Cardi B, you want to be famous, you want to be whatever, and all of a sudden, you start sitting around thinking, okay, maybe. No, that's not what we do. But if you don't pay attention to it, and you know how many people said to me tonight, I had no idea what this was, I don't know what this sounded like, I don't know what this was, and all this other stuff. And my whole thing is, why don't you? Remember, faith comes from hearing, and hearing but the word of God, but we have to guard our ear gates and eye gates, without question. And I think that's what's very important, is that we do have to protect our ear and eye gates. But first, we have to be brave enough to be able to take a look at it. I'm not scared of music. I'm not scared to look at the things that people are pushing to try to harm other folks. That's not what I do. And the reason why is that I know that people need... hold on one second. This is crazy. There we go. I wonder why that just cut off. Nope. Okay. So I can't listen. Did what I could. So what I want to do, like I was saying, is that I look at everything. And I look at everything simply because we have to. So let's look at this together, guys. And again, I do this because somebody's going to watch this on replay. And if you now, when we invite people to the group to see this, this is what it has to be. Okay. Here's the intro. Cardi B, Frank Ski, and Meg Thee Stallion. Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy. Makes that pull-out game weak. Yeah. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass. I ain't gonna keep saying it. Enough. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass. Give me everything you got for this WAP. I really believe she is a slave, and that's what the industry wants, and she's a slave to money. A lot of people are, Tony. A lot of people are slaves to money. And the Bible talks about the love of money. Not money itself. It is your reaction and your connection to it that enslaves you. Because you start to love it. No. All of us need to be held to a higher standard, Flex. We can't put that on the women when it has to be on us. I can't do that. Not women need to be held to a higher standard. Men. Because men are in control of most of the things in this country as well as in the world. It starts with the men. And yes, the hook is from a Baltimore club music. Yes, that I do know, Toya. And a lot of people don't realize, but this is what happens. But we have to hold each other to a high. My wife holds me to a high standard. I hold my wife to a high standard. We have to hold each other to a high standard. Because at the end of the day, if we do not hold each other to a standard that is going to allow us to be able to live life, well, then what are we driving ourselves down to? Now, continuing. Give me everything you got for this WAP. Beat it up, nigga. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Beat this P right in your face. Put this P right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top. I want to ride. Tiffany, you like this song. Yeah, okay. So go ahead and play it for KL. Let KL sing it. Is KL allowed to sing it? No. But it's okay if you like it. You're an adult. It's okay to like it. Listen, if you like it, you like it. The problem is, as long as you're in control of you can do what you do. Listen, I sung all the songs back in the day because I was out in the streets. I'm not going to turn around and be like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Yes, if kids have access to it, and if you're an adult and you're okay with it, that's fine. What I hear is not going to cause me to run out here and start wilding out. The song is catchy, but we have to look at what's actually being said. Do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth. Look into my eyes. This pee is wet. Now come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's role play. I'll wear a disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right here in this little garage. Make it cream, make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got this ring. What are we teaching? I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you I got this ring. So this is not new. None of this is new. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Quick, jump out before you let it get inside of me. I tell you where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be. I run down them before I have a nigga running on me. Pow, pow, pow. Talk your ass, bite your lip, ask for a car while you ride that D. While you ride that D. You ain't never got an F. You ain't never got an F him for that thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this WAP. He brought a phone just for pictures for this WAP. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this WAP. Now make it rain if you want to see some WAP. Now look, I need a hard hitter. I need a deep stroker. I need a Henny drinker. I need a weed smoker. Not a garden snake. I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. I got some money then. That's where I'm headed. P is A1 just like his credit. You got a beard? Well, I'm trying to wet it. Let him taste it. Now he's diabetic. I don't want to spit. I want to gulp. I want to gag. I want to choke. I want you to touch that little dangy thing that swings in the back of my throat. The head game is fire. Punani Dasani. It's going in dry and coming out soggy. I ride on that thing like cops is behind me. I spit on the mics like he's trying to sign me. Whoa. Your Honor, I'm a FB. Handcuffs, leashes. Switching my wigs, making him feel like he's cheating. Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lose a fight, but I'm looking for a beating. In the food chain, I'm the one that eats you. If you eat ass, he's a bottom feeder. Big D stand for big demeanor. I would make you bust before I ever meet you. If it don't hang, you can't bang. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If you F me and ask whose is it, when I ride the D, I'ma spell my name. Yeah, you effing with some wet. Man, please. I can't. Alright, let me just see what you guys are saying here. And it's okay to like the song. I'm not saying don't like the song. And yeah, she's the sensitive because that's how she was raised and that's what she's become. And that's how she talks in general currency. She's not teaching, she's entertaining. The people like her, hopefully parents will mind. Of course, without question. That's the whole reason to have a conversation about it, Paul. Because the idea is that I think people are attacking her when there's no reason to attack her. My whole thing is if you don't like it, don't rock with it. But at the same time, we got to know what's being said. Often when we're nodding our heads to a beat and we hear most of it, we actually have to look at how it's put together because somebody wrote that, whether it was her or somebody else. I think at the end of the day, regardless of how somebody, because then the question becomes if this is what's making money, we got to be careful because our children as well as other folks start to say, if that's how we make money, then I'm going to be more of that. And that's something that we all have to look at, especially if we have children. Because the song is catchy. I'm not going to lie. I think the lyrics are trash, but that's just me. Now, this is not something I'm going to run out and support or buy, and I didn't run out and support and buy the other stuff. I didn't. Now, I listened to it when I was out because it was what was hot. And if chicks was digging it, I was digging it because I was trying to get close to chicks. But I think what we have to do is we have to have honest conversations on why is this even popular? Why is this something that's hitting? And some of us who don't rock with that have to find a way to fight to bring back a balance to this. I don't think there's a balance. I think we went so far to one side that all of us have become desensitized to something that's always been there. But I think now that we've allowed it to get to the forefront that we're okay. That we're like, hey, she's just being her, he's just being him. Yo, this is what folks is doing today. Cardi style doesn't appeal to me. When I first heard the title, I did an eye roll. When I heard the song, I said, okay, I like this form, the first line. Okay, listen, it's going to appeal to the freak and anybody who's okay with that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But again, what is the other side? What happens to those who do not have... All right, Flex, be good, baby. What happens to those that don't have the fortitude to not be affected by what they hear? We've seen on a regular basis that folks are affected by what they see and hear. And listen, there's a lot of folks who claim to be righteous that are out here living that life on the low. It is actually quite catchy. But again, my question to everybody is, what happens to those that don't have the balance that you guys are referring to? What happens to those that are not just hooked on the lines, that actually start to look at her as a role model and say, I want to be that, and not realizing that it's like you want to be Michael Jordan, not realizing that Michael Jordan had a gift. Was there diversity in the 90s, though, Ty? I don't like personals out in public. Was there diversity in the 90s? I didn't call my wife a freak or anything. The minute you said I like the song, you told everybody what you need to know. But anyway, listen, they know who you married to, so they know I ain't marrying no plain Jane. So just calm down, calm down. They know, and if they don't know, they've been thinking about it. They said, "Listen, that's the same as blaming violence on." No, it's not the same, bro. But there is a connection. Here's the thing. There is proof that extended connection to violence video games do create a problem for those that are connected to it, Paul. So I'm not a person, see, I believe if you allow anybody to be exposed to anything negative, it's going to create a problem. But I don't think it's the game creator's problem. I think it's a parent problem. I think it's a problem of those who support it. But I gotta call somebody on it if you create it. Like Grand Theft Auto. I played Grand Theft Auto with my kids, and at the same time was having conversations like, you know, you ain't gonna do this in real life, right? And I monitored that because I was their father, and I was gonna make sure that I had the overriding say in what was going on, not the video. And if I thought at any time their behavior was moving towards what they were watching or seeing, I was gonna check that behind. And I think that's my biggest issue is, are we making sure that when we are looking at music like this, are we making sure that those who need protection because they don't have the balance have it? Oh, it's not kind of soft porn, Toya. It is soft porn. And when you see the video, you got statues of breasts with water coming out of it. I don't know who wants that in their house. It is soft porn, and it is what would be considered soft porn. But every decade that line gets blurred, and I think we have to be very careful because again, when we turn, without question, Paul. And I know, and Paul, you more than anybody else because you were there during the 90s, and you were there with a lot of rappers doing your interviews and things like that. So you got to see it firsthand. But you know, like I know. It's what they don't see on camera that's the problem, and it's what people will do to try to be in Cardi's position. That's what I worry about. The industry is going to be the industry. Listen, people have been getting effed over and treated badly, and dirty music has been dirty music forever, and it's going to sell. Listen, it is what it is. It is when people who start to look at this start thinking, how can I be the next Cardi B and go out and ruin their lives? My job is to offer a balance to that. My job ain't to tell somebody you can't be that. My job is to say, do you understand the problems and the dilemma? So Tiff said, okay, so what I don't like is that this is a wife and a mother singing these lyrics. If she was single and without children and she wanted to be seen as a whore, that is her right. But once you become a wife and a mom, why? And that's cool. I'm glad you feel that way, Tiff. But unfortunately, some women will go, why? Because if I met my husband being a whore, why should I stop now? And you know what? Some people are okay with that. Some people are like, look, if I was naked when he met me, I'm going to stay naked now that he with me. And my children just going to have to deal with me being naked. Listen, Adina Howard said she's insatiable. And any man that get with her going to have to understand that she is going to have sex anytime she wants with whoever she wants. And even the dude that she was dating said, that's just Adina. Got my t-shirt and my panties on. And you look at some Adina songs, it's just like you look at some of the dude songs that are out here. Listen, they're all raunchy. But when raunchy takes the lead, when raunchy is out front, when raunchy is everything, what do we have, guys? And I'm so glad you guys are talking about it. I really started to listen when my girls were small, and they started singing Jealousy, let me lick you up and down. That ain't new, but we got to watch what our kids listen to. This was on mainstream radio. Yeah, listen, mainstream radio changed years ago because once we got to the point that cursing was allowed, and once we got to the point that we started to become desensitized to things, and every decade it moves forward. There's no knock on that. This is what it is. But we have to make sure that we don't bend with the way the times are. So I challenge all the parents to just hold their ground. Just don't allow it to get sucked in. And again, go check out Meek Mill's Amen. Go look at Meek Mill's Amen, because it is a song that years ago it just obliterates the church in terms of what folks was out here trying to do. And let me see what's going on here. You know what? Listen. All right, there we go. Somebody just got in. All right, I can let you in when I let you in. My parents' faces when it came. With my let's see. I missed the comment there. Let's see. I'm sorry. Let's see. Nah, she can be a wife and a mom and a freak. Maybe not a whore in the sense of sex and many men, but if I met a freak, I need you to stay a freak. Well, Paul, we know that you nasty like me, but it's okay. So let's see. Oh, I missed some here. Michelle, I started. Okay, so T to the Y said, oh yes, it's Tupac an example of diversity. A few magazines call his music a contradiction. Well, see, again, we'd have to look at the magazines because a lot of the magazines tried to say that a lot of things in hip-hop was just wrong. What I look at is that we know when something just is not right in terms of just being negative. But art is art. And some people consider that art. And there's a talent to it. There's a talent to create the video. There's talent to create that song. And that's okay. I'm okay with you having that lane. I just won't be over on that side of the road. And that's okay. The problem I have is when I start to see people drift over to that side that I know cannot protect themselves. And I think that's my biggest thing for tonight, guys. I'm not challenging the music. What I'm challenging is the parents and the adults who embrace it but then don't embrace the potential outcome. Because when we spread anything and we're part of it, whether we buy it, share it, whatever, we got to be willing to deal with the outcomes of what come from it. And I have heard 10-year-olds say, have you ever performed oral sex while I was in school? Yes. And again, where were their parents? And then also, there's so many things that's there that we could talk about, but we needed to be able to start discussing all of it. And it's very important. I don't knock Cardi, do you? I believe she's struggling internally because I think a lot of the talent that a lot of these folks have, they believe that that's the only way that they can make money. I believe as smart as she is, I believe in other arenas, she would be okay if she applied that same energy and that same talent. But when you've been successful in a particular way, well, that's what you lean on. And like Paul mentioned, if that's what she's used to, I did not like Akinelli's put him out. It was degrading to women. How you don't like? You know what? Akinelli's was degrading to women, and this isn't. Tiff. Oh my gosh. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. Oh my gosh. Come on now. But I hear you. Okay, Tony. Yes, and anybody tomorrow on Zoom, if you have not gotten the information, I posted it in the group. Tomorrow is a meet and greet for domestic violence survivors. I'm looking forward to having all the survivors show up and just an opportunity for everybody to introduce themselves and a little something about themselves and just to praise the recovery that all the women that have gone through that and have made it through. So that's tomorrow, and I'll post it again in the group before tomorrow night. But tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on Zoom, we're going to get together, and I just want to be able to praise on and love on the women that have gotten through some very difficult times. We had some women share, so I'm glad Tony just reminded me of that. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. If you have not gotten an invite, let me know. Fellas, I don't know how many of the fellas I'm going to invite. This really ain't for the fellas. There's only about 3 that's been rocking with us all week, so y'all might have to get invited to the next meet and greet that we're going to have. And that's going to be a lot of things that we're going to do here. So let me just say that real quick, too, is that this is the only place where my show will be seen is in the group here. So if folks are not in the group, they won't see it. I may move these over to YouTube at some point, but right now, this is where we're going to have the conversation. And I love that you guys are active in the chat. And I'm also glad, shout out to Paul who's joining us tonight. Paul is a personal friend of mine, very intelligent brother, has a history in the movie industry, in the television industry, has some incredible children who are doing some incredible things. And that's my dude right there. Okay, I got you. But if that was pleasing to Akinelli, what's the difference? He's saying because Megan and Cardi are saying put it places. What's the difference? If he's saying put it in your mouth and Megan is saying get a car out of it, what's the difference? But again, that's me. You're entitled to your opinion. But again, show up tomorrow. But yeah, let me shout out those in the chat room. I saw Lynn was here, Michelle was here, Paul's here. Shout out to Tony who's driving. Please be safe, love. My wife is here. Toya was here. T to the Y. And you must add the Jones to it is here. I did say Lynn was here. Let's see who else was here. Flex was here. Flex popped in. So let me see who else is here. And I know we got a couple people who were like, they were trying to get in last minute. But if you didn't jump in before 9:30, listen, I'm sorry. I tried to take a look at my phone. Kim is here. Hey, Kim. Kim is here as well. So, again, tomorrow we have the domestic violence Zoom meeting. That's sexy. Get at her, Paul. Get at her, because I don't see the difference, but me and Tiff will talk about that after. All right, Kim, good night. See you tomorrow. Thank you for popping in tonight. I appreciate you. Love the support. And so, yeah, guys, and so from 9:30, get a car. Exactly, get a car out of it. Come on. I mean, like I said, I look at lyrics all the time. And sometimes you just really, let me see, you just have to say to yourself, what is going on here? Okay, Meek Mill. And it's not just women. It is really not just women. It is very difficult out here. Okay, so let me get this right. Okay. So I want to just show you. Here we go. It's not sex at all. I think it is too, because I think Meg and Cardi are saying the same thing that Akinelli's saying. Put it in your mouth. Well, she's singing "Put it in your mouth," and he's saying "Put it in your mother." He's just more aggressive with what he's saying, but I think they're saying the same thing. But again, each to their own. But okay, I want to give y'all. Okay, so we talking about lyrics, right? Because I want to make sure that we realize it's not just the women. Okay, this was Amen, the #1 song in the tri-state area when I was living in New York. I forget what year, early, I want to say 12 or 13, I'm not exactly sure. Okay, and this is a song with Meek Mill and Drake, and it's called Amen. I want to thank God for all the pretty women who let me into, all the pretty women he let into my life, all the Benjamins he let me count, wealth and health for my family, and letting me ball on all these niggas. Now, it's a lot of bad just in the building. Amen. A couple of real niggas in the building. Amen. A fitting to kill a nigga in the building. Amen. I want to tell a waiter 50 bottles and she tell me when, and the church say amen. We make it light up like a church. Preach. We want to F and I say church. Preach. Do a live on Sunday like a church. Preach. So to compare everything that you're saying and doing to church and then say amen and then say preach, please. I listen. What? Ew. That's what that song make you want to do? All right, I'm going to have to play that again. Don't tell everybody that. But again, we adults. And KL ain't going to get to listen to this. But really, I'm just saying, guys, if you pay attention, and I used to teach this in class because I feel these songs have to be discussed. And I believe that we have to make sure that our kids understand what's being said. Because as much as we want to say Cardi is expressing herself, and she is, we know that there's a whole nother avenue of a dark side of things out there. We know that sex trafficking is real. We know that prostitution is real. We know that men are out here doing very negative things, and we know that men are prey to sex trafficking. Look, you just seen a real life situation with Jeffrey Epstein, where some of the well-known people in the world were traveling to his island and getting it on. Naomi Campbell, Bill Clinton, and a bunch of other nasty folks. The hook of the female saying, put it in my mouth, supposedly after he had a bad day to make him feel better. Okay, listen, I'm not arguing what Akinyele's motivation was for the song. I'm just saying I think they're all saying the same thing in one way or another, but you're entitled to your opinion too. But I just think that, and again, I want to pay attention to, and I want you to understand that it is real. So what Cardi B is singing about, and what Meg Thee Stallion is singing about, we have real life incidents of that in the world right now. Jeffrey Epstein have been doing this for years to underage women. The president of the United States is considered to be one of Jeffrey Epstein's friends, and Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted child molester, and that he was holding parties on an island with very influential people who were then having their way with little girls. And there's a lot of things that we need to understand, that sometimes music like this and just behavior like this opens up the door to people to be preyed on. That's my concern. I don't have a problem with Cardi doing what she do. Listen, if somebody wants to give you money for that, do your thing. It won't be me. But I'm just nervous with the way throughout WAP there are a number of lines where there is an exchange of pleasuring each other, not just the woman. Alright, let me find these here. What lines are you talking about? Swipe your nose like a credit card? Is that one? Make his pull-out game weak? I don't know. It seems like the dudes is just the object. It don't look like they're actually... I mean, they trying to Kegel while he inside. Okay, you trying to make it pleasurable there. Let's role play. I'll wear a disguise. I got you. Okay, make it cream. Make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook. I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got this ring. Okay. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Quick, jump out before you let it go inside of me. Really? Come on now, Tim. that's saying the same thing. But listen, anybody watching, guys, I really want to say, first of all, every person has to check themselves. Every person has to decide what works for them. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. I am not going to tell anybody not to enjoy the song. I'm not going to tell anybody not to support it. I'm going to, the first line is, there's some whores in this house. Oh, you mean, okay, the first line is whores in this house. Her first line is, I'm a certified freak 7 days a week. WAP, make that pull-out game weak. Whoa. Okay. Switch that way. Alright, you go ahead and give yourself away. I ain't saying nothing. I don't know nothing. We've been married 20 years. I ain't got to say nothing. What, you get ready for the anniversary in 2 days? I ain't mad at you. Sounds good. But real talk, guys. And in all seriousness, and I'm glad we can laugh and joke. That's another reason why I'm glad we're here in the group, is because as adults, we got to be able to look at the things that are affecting each other. And I think what Paul brings to the table, what Tiff brings to the table, what Michelle brings to the table, Tony, Toya, Flex, T to the Y, everybody's going to bring their personal experiences and the questions that, and the things that you guys are questioning. And anybody watching, it goes down in the chat room. So if you're watching, you have access to the chat room. This is the reason why I wanted to make sure there was no snafus and things like that, because I know the people that I connect to. And I know that when they get into this chat room and they get to responding to each other, I know that it's going to be... Paul just messed me up. I can't. Oh, I can't. Paul said, pull out game with a bunch of question marks. What's that? I can't. That's why Paul's my dude. We both got a bunch of children. We too old to be talking like that, my man. Too old. Guys, if y'all in the chat room, y'all are losing out because this is where the magic happens. Pull out game, what is that? I can't. And Tiff talking about not the horse line. Of course not the horse line. We ain't rocking with that. But I think this is another thing too, guys, is that when adults can get together and have real, honest conversations, that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to try to bring to the table every time I have a subject. And it is to get you guys talking, because I'm not the authority on everything, nor do I try to be. I just try to be as intelligent as possible. I'm late to work every night. I feel you, bro. I feel a double entendre there. I bet you are late to work because you don't pull out your parking space. I'm not mad at you. But really, guys, and I think anybody who comes on to watch this on replay, before you attack the song, before you attack anybody in the chat room about their position, please understand that as adults, we all have a choice in what we enjoy. Now, my question is, would I play this? Now, if you remember, I said, if there's children around, remove them. If I didn't think that it was an issue, I would say, let the kids hear it. No, I don't want a child hearing this. That is my position. I don't believe underage kids should have access to this music. That is my position. I believe this music, when left unabated to somebody, can create a problem if they're weak here. That is my position. You can feel differently. And I think this is where the conversations need to be had without anger, without aggression, without a lot of negativity, because if we're going to help each other, I also don't like the line, I don't cook and clean. Well, there you go. Again, which is more important to a person if knowing how to. Now, some people say, why do you have to cook and clean? Again, I think like anything else, Tiff, I think it's a matter of where a person comes from with their own personal beliefs. Now, to my church folks that may watch this, please understand that your congregation is listening to this, and the other members of the church are listening to this. So before you judge them, ask them what are they doing with it. Meaning that if they're enjoying it, but they're not acting on it, is it a bad thing? And that's a conversation that you're going to have. I personally don't feel this is something that's really needed. Actually, it was very difficult for me to sit and listen to the whole thing. Once I had heard it before, what time you finish so I can watch? 10:30, but I only go 1 hour. Only go an hour. Are you going to watch the video and come back? I'm not mad at you, Paul. I'm not mad at you. But no, seriously. So to the church folks in the group, and I have a lot of there's quite a few pastors here. If we're going to deal with people where they are, we first have to understand the things that people enjoy, and then we have to get to the why. Get past the initial shock. As a crisis specialist, nothing shocks me. What I try to get to is the why. Why do you enjoy that? And if it's healthy, do you? But if it's not healthy, let's have a conversation. Like my wife is having a conversation, but she is perfectly fine with how she controls herself. She's not running out into the streets and acting in a way that's detrimental to herself or her child. I don't believe that Cardi is. But I believe what doors that Cardi opens up because of what she's doing can be detrimental to certain people that will try to follow in her footsteps. That I have a problem with. And how do we fix that? I don't know. All I can do is offer a counterbalance. And that's what I'm asking my church folks to remember to do. Let's not beat people over the head with our beliefs, but let's offer a counterbalance. Let's explain why we don't rock with certain things and leave it up to the person to make a decision on if that works for them or not. Because Zane Books was being bought by church folks. A lot of church folks had 50 Shades of Grey, all 3 copies. I have not read a line in 50 Shades of Grey, but I've seen quite a few people on the train reading it, and I believe a lot of them were church folks. Mary B. Morrison, who I know personally, I know quite a few church folks that bought her books, and her books are raunchy. But at the end of the day, it's not a judgment of what you choose to do. It's what you choose to do with what you purchased and what you're listening to. If that's what you listen to, that's what you listen to. What are you doing with it once you hear it? What are you doing after you've allowed that to see? Me, music can go in one ear and out the other. I'm good. I just did a show on Friday where I gave a whole breakdown on how to stimulate the body and stimulate in a romantic way. But that's where I come from with it. Yeah, and you know what's funny is she's not a pioneer, and I think she's being celebrated because I think we haven't seen that natural rawness since Little Kim. And I might be wrong, and if I am, please correct me, guys, in the chat room. I think that's why she's kind of looked upon that way, because we haven't seen this natural rawness since, I think, Little Kim. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I think the video would have made me uncomfortable. I didn't see it, but what the song is describing is nothing more than a woman saying that they need to satisfy them. There's no need for women who don't find sex pleasurable, don't even know what they need. I'm missing. I gotta get the rest of it. It's not coming up, Tiff, so I can see the rest of what you're saying. I can't even express what they need because they've had taught sex is bad. Well, yeah, we've talked about that before, Tiff. I don't necessarily believe it's. I know what you're saying, but I think what you have to look at is that I don't think church folks are human. Very true, Michelle. Tiff, I don't think it's necessary that we know a lot of folks teach sex is bad. We know that. But I think what we have to look at is we have to look at where a lot of that is coming from. And that's true. No one is holier than thou, Michelle, because I think what happens is we tend to forget our own sins once we got so-called clean. And we forget that what we were before we became who we are now. I don't. I embrace it. Now, I don't go back and try to become that. But I embrace it because I know other people are where I was, and I need to be able to bring them back. And I can't bring that if I'm beating them over the head for being what I used to be. It's been a minute. It's rawness with some talent, and she has some catchy hits. I agree. And I think that's what it is, too, because I think we saw the same thing with Nicki Minaj when they were calling her a pioneer because of her talents and stuff like that. She was just very good at what she did. She was very good at who she was, and it made a lot of money for her, gained a lot, and she's talented. And then Cardi brings a rawness, and it's innocent raw, meaning that she can't fake. Church folks, yes, church folks are human. That's there it is right there, Paul, like Michelle was saying. So a lot of church folks want to act as if they're not. And you know I've dated a few church girls in my time too. And the problem is because they want to act like they stopped being human, Paul. Like Michelle was saying, they're human as well. And I think what we have to realize is that you don't stop being human, but many of the church folks stop being transparent, if I can say that. I think many of them don't want to be transparent because, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say this before I get off, is that the greatest liars on the planet are people in the church. And I'm going to tell you why. They have to lie to God first. So don't get mad at me. Bring it if you want. Bring it if you want. It's okay. I'm here for it. I'm built for it. The greatest liars on the planet are church folks. Because many of them, because they've given their life to the Lord, they're so scared that they're going to be judged by other church folks that they lie. And if you can lie to God first, you can lie to anybody. Now, some of the greatest you have married church women who are afraid to admit, of course. Now, some of the most freest people are people who have embraced their raunchy side because it is a part of who they are. And then, like Erykah Badu has no problem telling you about she's embraced her sexuality, but she is who she is. She's not nasty. Now, some people say she is. I don't think so. I think she's a talent who understands that sex is something that she shares between her and her partner. And if she's had multiple partners, listen, it is what it is. But I think how she performs her art is incredible. But I think all of us have to check ourselves. And I think that's what songs like this do. Songs make us check ourselves because it's pushed into our face. Again, my issue is what happens to the people who are not as guarded as many of you in this chat room right now. That's because our husband might find. And there it is. And that's the thing is we got to be able to have real conversations, tell real jokes, feel comfortable about having a discussion, and then get to the how. So Wednesday, what time is it? Almost 10:30. So Wednesday, I'm going to think about it. I have an idea of something I want to talk about along with you guys are talking about in the chat room. And I think I'll put that out on Tuesday, what we're going to talk about on Wednesday. But for tomorrow, let me just say this. Let me close out with this. Let me first say thank you. Thank you to all you guys in the chat room. Paul, Michelle, Kim, Lynn, Tiff, Toya, Tony, T to the Y, Flex, Michelle, all of you. Thank you, because this is what makes it interesting for me. This is what makes it fun. This is what I try to do 3 times a week, is I just want to be able to have real conversations about real life subjects and not have anybody feel uncomfortable. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm not banning anybody unless you just become disrespectful, unless you just get to the point that you're being rude to other people in the chat room. That will get you kicked out of here in a heartbeat. But for the most part, this is a space, and this is why the group is private, because I want folks to feel comfortable to say what they have to say, feel the way that they feel, because it's okay. Now, what I hope we leave with today is that the song is what it is. But if we see that is affecting people around us to the negative, are we going to say something? I pray that you do, because I know I am. And that's part of what I do as a family therapist. I try to make myself available, so if a parent has started to lose their child to videos like this, that we have a way to bring them back. And I can't do that if I don't know what the video is saying or doing, because I got to be able to offer some counter to what they're watching. So I don't have a problem watching it. Don't shake me up. Listen, I live the whole sex thing. It doesn't drive. Listen, I know how deep and nasty. I worked at a motel. I have a section on in my book, From Gigolo to Jesus. Read it. I put all my dirt out there. So my dirt is as bad as Cardi's, if not worse. Probably worse. Nah, I can't be, because she's more attractive, so I'm sure she got more attention. At the end of the day, guys, this is what it is. So now you know what WAP stands for. You know what WAP stands for. You've heard the song. You see that it's catchy. So the real question before I get off tonight is, now that you've heard all that, now that you've seen it, 75% of preachers can't fall asleep after. Paul, how do you know what 75% of the preachers are out here doing, bro? Please tell me, how do you know? Where are you getting that stat from? But again, Paul is my man. I love him to death. And again, the idea is to have real conversations. So again, thank you to all of you in the group. Thank you for joining. I hope that you'll stay and hang out. We still have to protect our children. The parents shouldn't be allowing their children to listen to adult content. Thank you, Tiff. I appreciate that, because that's what I'm getting. You know how I feel. So again, I want to thank all of you for showing up tonight for the first night inside the group. They have to. I knew it was coming. That's why I asked you. I knew it was coming. Nah, Paul, we can't be talking bad about all the pastors, man. We don't know if it's 75%. That's a high number, bro. Toya says, I'm a parent, I'm a teacher. I would definitely keep my eyes in the air. Please do, Toya. And that's another reason why I presented this way as I did, because everybody here in the group is a parent. And Paul, no matter how crazy that he acts, he loves his children. He's been a great father to them to make sure that they've done the right things. And again, this is what we have to do. We have to do this for each other, is to have these conversations. I'm going to have more of these conversations. We'll do more on Wednesday. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unapologetically keep. I don't make any sorries about how I feel, but I'm always open to learn. The chat room is going to always be open to you guys. That's where the real action happens, because I love that you guys, and y'all can continue once I get off, because again, that's what this is about, is that we have to be able to talk to each other in a respectful way, respect each other's position. Yes, I'm a man of God. Yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm also a person that's connected to these brothers and sisters in the streets, because the minute that I separate myself from that, I'm separating myself from my past in such a way that I can't help those that are suffering like I was. All right? So that's not me. But again, if that's not you, that's okay. We don't have to walk the same path. But again, when you come to the chat room, bring your A game, open up your mind, be respectful, And then that's it. Or if you just want to hang back in the cut and this is the hour that you watch me instead of television, I appreciate that too. Now, before I go, let me say this. Please like this post. I appreciate it. Now, if you need private counseling, no, I'm not like Paul is saying. I'm not going to get into anything dirty as a preacher. That's not what I do. But I am here for folks who need private counseling, because if you're dealing with a child that's caught into this, or you yourself is caught into some things you don't need how to get out of, reach out. I am going to have private Zoom meetings with anybody in the group, and you get a discount. If you're here in the group and you decide, hey, Jose, all right, well, you're going to have to watch the replay, Jose. It was tough. And be prepared early, Jose, when you listen to the song. It's kind of rough, but you're a grandparent, Jose, so you definitely need to watch this again. So anybody that you want to see this, they will not be able to see this unless they join the group. So if you share it, they won't be able to see it. They have to come here to see the video. They have to join, because that's why we're here. And I'm going to tell you, I love you all as part of this tribe. Thank you. Please show up on Wednesday. And remember, Tiff, put in the chat room bit.ly/Coach Keith. bit.ly/Coach Keith. And that's what you reach out to if you need me. If you need to set up a Zoom call with me, you're in the 20. Yes, I'm trying to stay at that 25%. Plus, I ain't got to do all that. I got the WAP at home. Now, we ain't going to play the song, but I'm just saying, I got some Teddy P and some Luther Vandross that's going to help me. Go back to Friday's show to understand what I'm talking about to my old heads. But again, Ted, put in the chat room for me, or anybody, put in the chat room for me, bit.ly/Coach Keith. Let me see if I got time. I think I could toss it in there. I don't know. There we go. Okay. And this is how you reach me, guys. And I just want to say thank you again. And I'm sorry for going actually past 10:30. I was trying to make sure I get off here on time. No problem. I appreciate it, brother. You're welcome anytime. And yo, don't forget, I'm still here, Paul, if you need to reach out, man. I didn't forget. So whenever you're ready, boss. That's another thing. No, wrong way, Tiff. I got you. Wrong way. I got you, because I don't know how many slashes you put. I don't know where you sending them. And don't be sending them to no porn site. Then they're going to think something going on here. Okay. I don't know where Tiff's sending them to. So if Tiff sent you some freaky site, that's on her. I mean, that's a Freudian slip right there. See, look, it just said not found. See, I have no idea what Tiff is sending people. I almost canceled the show. Look at that. I hit the wrong button. Almost canceled the show. There we go. Oh, where's my camera? I think my camera's still on. There we go. All right, that's it right there. bit.ly/Coach Keith. That's how you reach out. Share that with anybody who is interested in setting up time that needs somebody to talk with. I'm here. This is what I do. All right, I don't work for anybody else. I work for myself. This is what I do. Every day I'm here to try to help people that are going through some things, and I set up opportunities to talk with them, and this is what I do. Because somebody has to step in and help brothers and sisters who are in pain, and this is what I do. And there's the way to reach me. All right? No problem, Brian. I'm glad to hear that, bro. I'm really glad, because I got a little nervous, because, I know you have a lot of experience, a lot of things. But I'm here. You know that, bro. Anytime you need me. And anybody else that's here in the group, and I know some of you going to watch and replay. If you're in this group and you set up time, a private counseling session with me, the first one is free. If we do set up something in a payment type schedule, you will get a discount for being in this group, simply because it's my way of saying thank you for joining me here. I appreciate all of you that joined in the last day or two, and I appreciate it. I'm going to try to bring my A game every time I'm on in front of this camera. So it has been a pleasurable night. No issues with the sound, and the chat room was banging as usual. So I want to say good night to everybody. Toya, good night. Paul, good night. Tip, I'll see you in a little bit. Michelle, good night. Michelle, good night. Oh, Jose, good night, my brother. T to the Y, good night. Tony, good night. Kim, good night. Lynn, good night. Give those girls a kiss for me, Lynn. T to the Y, I got you. I think I said Kim. I think I got everybody. So I think that's everybody. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Blame it to my heart, not my head. And so again, Wednesday 9:30, I will post sometime tomorrow in the group what we're going to talk about. It might be something connected to tonight or something else, because we might have to now talk about what do we actually do, or what does that look like. But I'll figure something out. But tomorrow night in the Zoom room, we are dealing with domestic violence survivors. It is a meet and greet. It is basically just a time for us to praise the women who have recovered from domestic violence, an opportunity for the ladies to get together, share some of their stories, and let's just love on those women who have made it out of a bad situation. Because as I have found out in the last 2 weeks, the number of women who have been murdered due to domestic violence, the number is way too high. Thank you so much, guys. God bless. It was fun. Y'all made my night. Thank you so much. Y'all can keep the chat going, but I got to go. Take it easy. God bless.